Alright, so tomorrow I'm going to this creationist, like, seminar, I guess you could call it. But basically, it's lasting for 6 hours, and I think they do a luncheon thing. Um, for some reason, somebody reached out in my life, and I'm not sure his intent why, yet to reach out to me in order to, come. The person who reached out was a friend of my mother's, and it was interesting how he, asked my mom to ask me to go. Like, I'm surprised, like, anybody was even thinking about me. But maybe for some reason, I'm not sure of his intent, like I said. But I'm going tomorrow, and I feel like it just brought up a point in me. When it comes, I'll give you guys some footage of this seminar tomorrow. But based on what they say, I feel like I already know what's coming. Like, I already know what they're gonna say and try to link things too. So I'm hoping to go with an open mind and learn new things. Also, if they can change my mind, I'm the type to do that. But I want to go in there with a nice, easy frame, something that isn't rigid by the ego. So now, like I said, going to that tomorrow. And I started thinking about it tonight. Based on, like, evolution, there's a point, like, where the tree, because I was like about to eat corn on the cob, and corn grows from the vegetable, like the vegetable that actually grows and is a part of the branch. So if that tree and the vine and all that is the living thing that's breathing, just like us, but is of a different, species, and obviously is a plant. So if that thing is alive, now it's producing this offspring of corn. Okay, so the corn is basically like a mucus or like a fungi growing on the corn on the cob. So, like, that's what makes it corn on the cob. So it's what's growing on the corn husk. So now you have to take this and eat it and ingest it in your body. So basically, you can think of it as that the plant is providing nutrients. It's making something to provide us, like a different species of life, in order to progress and go somewhere. Okay, so that also, if you want to go that route of it, then you could say that we're progressing and making something such as technology, which then could also be reverted back to the fact we created ourselves, but then whole different story. But so if you revert it back, like the tree, so it's producing this stuff for us. So the trees first came from a bacteria source. Okay, like the bacteria came first. So if we don't work in like a system where there's a higher and a lower part, like, and that's all you need, like, where there can be a middleman that is disposable. Like, we don't live in that kind of system. There's a system that takes place to where there's an advancement of, like, growth. So that tree is needed in that situation as a middleman, okay? And that middleman is always going to be needed there because it's providing us life, but then the way the tree develops comes from a whole species of what came first. Like, if we're talking about evolution. Now, even in that case, if it all, like, something reverts back to the first bacteria, and then even further than that, like, we have evidence for all these things that could be older than that, but in the simulation theory still applies that we were put here by something so years ago, like billions of years ago. It's different than the creationist theory, unless everything was put here. The only fact, like, the creationists made that I would be able to connect to is that we were put here by God 2,000 years ago, and everything was made, designed already, like such as the rocks were sedimentary lined already when he made it, in order to like fool us and let us play this game, like this simulation. So that's the way he would put it. If there was a God of sorts, like that would be the way, like, so carbon dating, like the only way, like God set the rock up like that when he established it to say this rock is so old and this rock is that old, you know, it. So basically, that would be that. But I'm just saying, like, if we came from somewhere, there's a whole point of like difference between me and those types of people. I don't want to believe that we've been fooled. Like there's a way that's more beautiful to me. Like all this stuff that we have figured out and is 100, like all this stuff that we have figured out and is factual, has actually been played out over time. Like the growth of us and the growth of systems that worked all throughout nature. So if that comes from somewhere, then maybe like the Big Bang Theory, perhaps. Like, no, there's a lot. Like the Big Bang, most people don't know about the Big Bang Theory is it is established. Like it's not a theory. It's actually the Big Bang principle, and this is it happened 100%. But there's different theories of what happened beyond the moment of it happening, because we can measure up to, you know, the very moments after the Big Bang. But what happened right at that moment, we're not sure. So therefore, in that pocket right before it, what happened, like universes colliding, it could be anything, but somebody could have pressed a button, but then therefore they would have to exist. Okay, so then they would be just our God. Like, but here's the thing: when it comes to that whole system that's played out, I think God is like bigger than that. So there's one main difference between, I think, me and a lot of people that come from the direction of creationism, and just people that try to negate you as a human being and your soul, and because you believe in something different type thing. Like people that believe in it for the wrong reasons. There's one difference between me and them, and I feel like I would want to tell them, I don't know, I feel like I would want to tell them something like, you believe in God because you have to. I believe in God because I want to. Okay? Now, I really want to because there's faith behind it. There is faith in my heart, like that something is beyond that code of us and of everything that was set up. And it seems more beautiful to me that way than if we were just, and then like, God created light, God created this in 7 days. Because it's like, even if the Bible and things like that, if they're going to base things off the Bible, it's like, in the Bible, so God did all that. He created it all, programmed it all, and on the 7th day, he was tired. Like, so God got pooped. I know that's been used before. Like, somebody said that before, like, God got pooped, like, he got tired. Like, why would you get tired on the 7th day if you're God? But in that case, what if he was a programmer still then, So anything's possible, but that's why I said I'm going to go in there with an open mind. I've done a lot of soul searching, and I know what I believe in, but I'm very open to hearing everything else and learning, and that's just always been me. I've noticed I'm a curious person. Like, one time, I was on the side of a house, and I was actually taking a pee. I was taking a piss, like next to my garage, and it was a separate garage, so it was the house, and then the garage is detached. There was a moment in time when I was on the side, taking a pee of the garage, and I asked myself, like, what if I realized something about myself because of, I just realized something about myself that day. And it was just the fact that I'm looking at this garage door. And it, I mean, not the door, but the side of the garage where the shingles are. So it was kind of like laid out, you know, like the shingles were like down the house. You know how those shingles are. So I'm looking at them, taking this peek, and I'm standing at like a 45-degree angle taking a piss at this wall. So I'm like this. And I'm starting to think, like, what if we were two-dimensional in like these two-dimensional slots? Like, but like, and like distinct, like two-dimensional coded slots to make 3D things. And it was, it was very interesting in my mind, in the realizations that I had. It was the most I've ever felt like two-dimensional. Like, I really felt like two-dimensional for a minute, and I didn't feel real. It was just like a split second, like a shot, like a burst of energy, like showing me something. And I was like, wow. And I just, like, after that, thought about that, and then I thought about, like, it made me realize about myself, because something about myself, and it was just the fact that I realized I'm a super curious person. So that's why I'm going tomorrow to this thing. Like, and I'll try to get the best footage that I can and show you guys. I this moment where I can raise my hand and speak my truth, or like if there's anything I need to rebuttal, because I'm not the type to I'm quiet about a lot of things, but that's one thing I don't fuck around with. And I don't like when people go by idly, and it's just not raw to me. It's doesn't feel deep. Like when people go by idly, like I believe people can believe what they believe in. They don't hurt anybody, but I just think I'm not gonna try like be persuaded and have you influence my brain that's getting signals from like somewhere else, it seems, and you give me those signals and tell me what it is, and tell me exactly what it is, like lay it out in a script, like in a book or something, and tell me exactly what the universe is, or like, and then me not be able to stand and prove my point. Like, I'm tired of the people not being able to face up and talk about things that matter. And I know I do it way too much too, but I know I do it a lot, and maybe it's me thinking it's my inner self that needs to come out, but trust me, like, I feel like sometimes people tend to not like me because I do speak up for myself, and I am strong personality, like, so I don't know. If you guys feel this video, then click the subscribe button, man. It really means a lot. I do take a lot of time in these videos, all the like things that I do, all the music that I make that comes freely, you know. And it's magic to me, because it feels like it's like I'm a channel, like I'm just like channeling it, and the ideas almost aren't mine. Like, it's like the ideas come from somewhere. Like, I don't want to be worshipped for like fame. Like, I don't want to be worshipped. Like, that might be how, you know, some people have taken my approach to things that I do, but I don't want to be worshipped. Like, I want you to worship the things that are made. That's it. Like, I want you to appreciate and love the things that are made, that I make, and that can change your mind, because it's like, I'm not the one really doing it. I don't want to be praised. I just want you to see this thing that came to me. You know what I mean? I think like things like that can help us. So I think, you know, keep an ear out for people. Don't like dismiss people all the time. Yeah. So it's a great life. I know it's beautiful to be here. Sometimes shit sucks. It really does. And I'm the one that should know that, bro, like the most. Trust me. I have like thing deep down inside of me that really makes me believe if this is a simulation, like I'm a glitch, because I do weird shit. Like I count syllables sometimes, and I like count syllables on my fingers and like flick them to a point where it feels like almost like my fingers get sore sometimes. Cause I'll be like, not even that, but it just feels like I count things off in my head, like syllables and numbers and like, and then sometimes I'll do it like when I'm watching a show, like a really good show that I'm into, and it's something that keeps me attracted to the television. The way, it's not like I love it entirely. I don't really want to watch it that way because I want to be able to retain everything, in Excel amounts or like, but it's like in order to get everything, like I study the screen. Like me, I went to podcast, got my degree in podcast and cinematic arts. It's like that came to me naturally. Like it all came to me naturally, like seeing a screen and just analyzing every part of it. Like the way I watch shit, like I've watched The Office probably about 100 times every episode because in time total watch. But, in reality I've only watched every episode probably about 25 times. But that's the only show. Like other shows I watch once or twice, but like when I do watch those shows, like I'll go back and I'll press the rewind button like 20 times on the same spot, and not just like 2 or 3 times throughout the thing, but a lot throughout the entire thing. So it just it gets on my nerves. Like it's a stress manifestation, but it's like I always tend to do that. So like it's one thing I really deal with, and you can like I don't know if you like it takes, if anybody else feels that way or if anybody else feels stress in their life, man, like just know that this place that we were put here is fucking beautiful. It's stunning, really. Like the fact that we even, because if think about nothing, like you can't, it's so entirely hard to think about entirely nothing in reality. Like I think I've maybe done it once or twice. That's it, and it's hard to get there. Like we're so blessed to have something. So I know shit gets hard. Like you can imagine with the thing I just told you about, like how much time that takes and how frustrating that can get. But at the same time, I learn. I in every one of those moments, I'm learning and thinking something different. But I just feel like my actions glitch up, and so I mean, fuck. I mean, anything is possible. I'm going to this shit tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll keep you updated. Peace.